Look at that oil filter buried up there. Wouldn't that just piss you off? Hey, it's Tim, Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk. Today I have a 2024 Honda Ridgeline Trail Sport right there. In this video, let's talk about some common maintenance things. Oil filter, cabin air filter, windshield wiper fluid, how to get the jack, where's the jack located at, that kind of stuff. I did a video a couple days ago on a Ram truck, and you guys seem like you're pretty fired up about doing these videos. So I have a Honda Ridgeline driveway. Let's get to this one. And let's start with that really nasty oil filter location. Okay, before I crawl underneath, this is the oil pan shield. You got 4 bolts there. You gotta lift it up one hand and take the bolts off and get yourself nice and dirty and sweaty. Love that. So let me show you what it looks like down below where you find the oil filter. Okay, back underneath the vehicle we have the drain plug here. Oil filter there, which I think there's I can move the camera over here. Might be a way to touch it on that side. Okay, but I mean, you got the structure right here, the frame, right away. Actually, it might be easier if you just take the wheel off. Imagine some people are doing that, taking the wheel off and then coming at it from that side. But then you still have to take this drain plate off, this cover off to get to the drain. So, yeah, I don't know what the easy answer is to that question. All right, now underneath the hood, we kind of have a hot mess. Well, I think it's a bit of a hot mess. We got stuff everywhere. It's kind of interesting. So we have one fuse box over here. See all those fuses there. Then we have a secondary fuse box over here. Yeah, so interesting in 2 fuses box. Probably 1 accessory, 1 battery, that kind of deal. We have little, all these markings. Let's see. Small stop, main fly, clutch, ignition coil, just a backup lights. So there's that. And then this is the tool you use to get your little accessory or backup fuses out. So nice, it comes with some fuses. That's cool. I'll replace that cover in a minute. Windshield wiper fluid here, right? Long neck that goes down. But what's interesting is the radiator fill is back in here. It's right, just in my hands. I'm trying to film and do it at the same time. It's right here. So it's interesting that there's 2 right there. That's per the manual. The manual says, and I'll show it to you guys, right here is a engine coolant reserve tank. That's right next to that, right there. So must have washer fluid, engine coolant reserve tanks. They must figure you don't need to put that much in there because that's a tough place to get to. We have the dipstick because dipsticks are cool. And then we have the SAW20, which is down there. This is the engine oil fill, OW20 SAE oil. But what's interesting is that this engine cover just pops right off. So you can see where it's got some dampener in it to stop some sound, also keeps some heat in to allow the exhaust system to run a little faster, get the catalytic converter working even faster, and then runs coolant to keep everything at the consistent temperature. But it's interesting that this just pops out. So there you go, there's the engine. All nice and cool. There's really not much to see. It is a V6, so our spark plugs should be down in here. It's transaxle, so it's mounted like this, the V's in the middle and both sides. So I would say that these spark plugs, and again, this is just do-it-yourself time, not professional mechanic, just looking at this going, it's gonna be kind of a pain, I think, to get those spark plugs, especially for a guy like me that have long arms. Getting up in here and getting the back spark plugs could be a bit of a weird issue. SAW20, like I said, that was the oil there. And I'm sure you guys correct me in the comments if I'm wrong about anything on this video. All right, come over here. Again, I showed you the other fuses. The brake fluid reservoir. This is the battery cover, which is, well, actually the battery's down there. Then this is a air cover up here, air inlet probably. So you just take the 1 positive to do the jumping, but you can't get to the battery too well without taking it apart. Then this is your air filter in all its massive glory. It's pretty tiny. That's a pretty small air filter. So that one goes in there, and it's got the clip system that holds it in. So let me put this engine bay back together, and we'll keep moving this video because I might need both hands. Yeah, both hands. Okay, there's about 15 minutes of my life we'll never get back. That cover is cool to pop on and off, but it's tough to line everything up to get in there, and the air filter cover, or the air inlet, was a little hard to line up and get all that tightened up, but we got it now, so let's move on. All right, I just have to say about that hood, it's heavy. In today's market, we do a lot of aluminum on the hoods, make them lighter. That baby's not aluminum. It is heavy. So let's talk about inside the cabin air filter. It is right behind the glove box, pulls in, pulls out. It's got a couple tabs there, so you just tab, close that. And then this, you just squeeze this side and that side, then that goes closed. What else? Oh, show you inside the screen. Looks like there's a storm rolling in. Of course, there'd be a storm. Okay, so let's get inside and we'll start it up. A key would be nice. There's our fancy dancy key, Honda Ridgeline key, lock, unlock, hold for a remote start. Okay, and I got the emergency brake, so we'll let that go. Because always when I jacked it up, I had emergency brake on there. Make sure there's no problems there. I'll turn this down. So what am I showing you inside the cabin? I'm going to show you the screen. Remember how to get to it. Main. Oh, that is cruise control. Okay, it turns out it's not there. It's over here. So I'm going to go home. I'm going to go over to vehicle settings. In vehicle settings, I'm going to go over to maintenance information. And there's your oil life in that on the vehicle, and it tells you what to do next as far as resetting your items. So engine oil life, yeah, that's a new one. It's a mathematical equation that they do, the computer system does. It gauges how you're driving, what you're doing, towing, non-towing, how fast you've been driving, and it gauges how long the oil life should be in this vehicle. Now, I checked the owner's manual a couple of different ways in the back and read through the maintenance sections. I can't find a 6,000 mile requirement, a 7,500 mile requirement for synthetic oil. It's just oil comes down to the oil life indicator. It'll beep at you and tell you when you're close to needing an oil change. So some people are going to go, I don't want to do that. I'll do it every 5,000 miles. That's fine too. But that is how you check, how you know how much your oil life is left as far as oil change intervals. Okay, let's go check out the jack. Okay, let's check out the back here. We have two ways to open this tailgate. This is the Ridgeline. If you haven't seen this before, they have one way, which is like this. There's a latch down here, and it opens, da-da-da. And the other way like this, where it folds straight down. Yeah, no damping. In our case, I need to get in here, which is a separate little trunk area. And so I'm going to close this. Again, steel, heavy. So this will probably be ready for refresh here for next couple of years, next year or two. I imagine I can do a lot more aluminum to drop the weight, because that's what we're doing these days. Lighter trucks, better fuel economy. So you can lock this, or you can go in here, open it up there, and there is your jack, and there is so that spare tire in there. You undo those locks here and here, and it pulls out two of you. I think you got to turn them quite a bit. Yeah, you got to do them all the way. Well, let's see if we can't do this real fast on camera. So there's that. And then, by the way, this is a drain plug down here. So if you were to take some beer with you fishing or something, you could drain it. Okay, and then this should slide out too. There you go. There's your tool, there's your spare tire, there's your jack. So it makes it kind of convenient to get that. You don't have to drop down below and all kind of crazy stuff. It's all there right in front of you, which I think is that's a big win for this. Okay, so what did we learn? We learned there's no oil change intervals. It's based on a mathematical equation. We learned the spare tire is easy to get to. We learned the oil filter is not easy to get to. We learned there's lots of different boxes underneath the hood. The engine cover is kind of interesting. It pops right off, but hard to get that lined up. Such a big piece of plastic. So kind of a mixed bag with this. I was expecting a little bit easier to get to the oil filter, honestly. There's that metal tray that protects the oil filter and the oil pan. That's a kind of a pain in the ass to get off. So I'm a big fan of that. What do you guys think? Put comments down below. Be curious. Check out the website at pickuptrucktalk.com. Other videos over here. As always, thanks for watching. I will see you down the road.